There we go. I do believe we're live. So I'll say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again on another conscious evolution. Another opportunity for us to be present, for us to be patient, and for us to be considerate of the words we use. Patient of the words we use? How do you patient? Like sometimes you want to say something, but then you have to be patient before you say it. And then by being patient, you say something else. I went down a whole rabbit hole of Rastafarianism and some of the things that they were talking about. There was one specific thing that kind of sticks with me is that when they address the plural, the us, they don't use the word we, they say I and I. Right? I and I. Like both of us are I, and it's us. And like how you're not supposed to say hello. And I don't say hello either. I say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Right? Because hell in the inferno and as such, not good, right? So we're told. I'm inclined to believe them. Hell is an idea after all. It's nice to be here with your friends. I feel more tired than I think I'm supposed to. I didn't particularly sleep too little. Still got around the hours I would ask of myself. But I did have like a meditation slash nap this afternoon. And then the yoga definitely did put me into a state. 1-5-4-3-2-1. I just got a bzz bzz. Hey Joe, it's nice having you here too. It really is. I've been talking about Joe a lot this weekend. I even showed them a photo of you with, well, not a photo, one of the videos you sent me with you and Zoburb. 1-5-4-3-2-1. Loved ones. Hey River. What's up with the coon? How are you? It's nice having you here. I feel so sleepy. Maybe, if we would be so inclined, I'm going to partake and then we can meditate. It is a Sunday, so maybe we're supposed to have some calm, gentle energies. Maybe you've just woken up. Maybe you're seeing your phone for the first time. And if that's the case, then it is up to me to make sure you have a good day. I mean, maybe not up to me to make sure you have a good day, but I'm a part of the equation, let's say. So, 7 minutes past. Day is basically over. My Sunday has been spent. We had some coffee this morning and then said goodbye. That's me liking today's stream. Consecutive numbers. Now I'm with ya. The 1-5-4-3. It is the day of that synchronicity. Life is a blessing. We are blessed to have breath once again. It's true. Today's stream topic is about the words we use And to add to what you just said, River Kun, every single breath we take enables us to say every single word we use. And if we see every breath we take as a blessing, then we might just bless other people with our words using our breath. Checks out to me. Makes perfect sense. I did take an antihistamine as well. There's something in the air. I've been an absolutely snotty mess. TMI. It's not been comfortable. Maybe by meditating on it. Maybe by meditating on it, some progress can be made. I don't know if I want to peel. Maybe I will. A little bit. I'm eternally grateful for my spirit family that lives here in this space. We're grateful for you too, bro. Best to have Jajakun here. Love you, Jovan. Know you. So much love. All right. You want to meditate with me? Let's spend at least. Let's do a 10-minute one. You want to lock it? I mean, 10 minutes is a long time, I know. But maybe I can come back and cue us every now and then. The part of me that wants to do 10 minutes is the part of me that actually wants to meditate. The part of me that doesn't want to do 10 minutes is the part of me that actually wants to be an entertainer. But it is a Sunday, and it's good for us to have quiet moments. And if you're into something like that, us taking some time together to be in this quiet moment is a certain power, right? Technically. Does give us some energy. 10 minutes we go. Did the jumping jack Jumanji go full raccoon? He did. Down the river raccoon. Gabbity goo. New names have been bestowed. We be a phoenix, melting and re-emerging from the flames over and over again. Bringing ourselves to this space, to this moment, to this breath that we're taking right now. If you want, find yourself comfortable. Feel supported. Almost like wiggle out, right? If there's any part of you that's misaligned or incorrectly weighted, try and remedy that situation. Finding comfort is hard in this world. Especially since we're having one of the most uncomfortable experiences at all times. Depends on who you ask, but being a human is not easy. Dealing with being, it's easier to come back to breath. For me, meditation usually just tends to be trying to find some sort of groove. That I'm here right now. My eyes are closed. And I have to breathe. And then I tune into how things are feeling. How's the breath feeling in this moment? How's my skin feeling? Is there any sensation in my eyes? Tension in my face? Scanning down to my neck, onto my shoulders, down my arms, feeling my energy terminate in my fingers. That energy coming back up the arms and down the shoulders, filling your whole torso. With a big inhale, letting it out again with a sigh of relief. Taking a moment here to again just feel your breath as an energy, inhaling and exhaling. Feel your belly rise and fall. Feel yourself as an energy pump. Option to, if you want to, follow the energy down into your legs and all the way down to your feet. And in me saying that, you probably can't help but then bring it back up, moving that energy up our torso again, reaching our neck and finding our focus up around our third eye. Between your eyes and just a little bit up. Again, just bringing our inner focus to that point as we stay mindful of our breath. Letting that attention come down again. Or maybe refocusing it around your nose and mouth, feeling the air, controlling your breath. Releasing or refocusing our attention again. Bringing our attention to our chest. Going deeper, finding our heartbeat. See if you can tune into this energy. And notice how awareness of breath can aid you in your awareness of your heartbeat. As you smooth out your in and exhale into a long, sustained take, it's almost like your heartbeats start standing out so clearly. Bringing our attention up again all the way to the third eye. Feel it moving up. Find that attention and then open your eyes. Those 10 minutes went by like, bah! If you followed along, do you feel better? I know I do. I feel a lot better. I feel a little bit less head foggy. I had like head, not headache, but head hurties, I know. A little bit head hurties. And I feel better now. So nice to be here with you friends. 10 minutes and 10 seconds. Did the jumping jack. Good morning, brother. Indeed, the coon has come out of hibernation. I'm already going to painting again. I'm actually going to paint again. Maybe that's what it means. Something as having a new view on this place and wanting to share it with your loved ones. It's coming soon. I look forward to seeing your work, bro. That's super exciting. I feel it too. I'm full of anticipation, Joe. I'm happy to hear you friends are in that state as well. There's so much that I am looking forward to. There's a lot that I want to share, but I'm still playing my cards close to my chest, just for right now. A little bit. But I'm here with you friends for the anticipations. There's a lot to look forward to, right? I feel if you really start to label and almost like become aware of all of the things that's happening in the world, right? And today's stream topic is about the words we use. And if we're going to think about the words that are used, if we look at the world as it is, right, the status quo, there is a certain narrative, a certain set of words that are being used to make you feel a certain way, right? And you can do that too to other people, and you are actively doing that to yourself on the inside as well, right? So in that way, there is a certain level of responsibility to, I believe, almost not let the words, the common narrative in that way sway you. All right? Don't let it get to you. Like, be optimistic despite reason not to be. right? That I feel like that is true optimism. You're not actually optimistic if everything is like 100% guaranteed to go your way, right? That's not optimism. That's foolishness. No, not foolishness. Maybe not foolishness. Hubris could be. I'm seeing it more as an energy of like action without potential consequence for failure, right? If my dream is to watch a YouTube video, right? My dream is achievable by sitting down and watching a YouTube video, right? It's not exactly very substantial for me to have that as my dream. But if my dream is to build a city on the ocean, right? Now suddenly the achievability factor changes, right? And a lot more has to happen relatively before the city on the ocean can be a thing. All right, and it's like a matter of how do we get there? How do we get there? And for me, the answer is by showing up today. And the second answer is not letting yourself not show up today. All right, because again, if we're only swayed by the current narrative and the potential negatives that there are to feel about how things are, then we won't be a part of the people that gets to do things in the future, right? Because we'll exclude ourselves, like self-exclusion. That's actually something I'll do a whole stream about. But it was this, I think, Twitter post or something like that. But the person basically said, if you saw a job interview and didn't apply for it because you assumed you were underqualified, you should stop doing that, right? And I get there's like something to feel about that. But the point they were making is that you should stop doing that. And they said that too, is because you are basically disqualifying yourself. That it's one thing for you to apply for the job and to be disqualified for the position by the people that you are applying with. It's a whole other thing to just disqualify yourself before even trying. All right? That's worse. It's worse. So in that way, if there's negative sentiment being shared with you, uh, disqualify yourself is basically like, believing it, believing the negative sentiment. Don't mind, friend Melt. You look like casual potato. I feel like a pretty casual potato right now. Super chillaxed on a couch. Very potato-esque. True. Boss, how are you, everyone? It's nice having you here, Nisha. Send blessings. I feel lighter, right? Right? Me too, Joe. Thank you for meditating with me. I almost knew that you were there meditating with me, and I'm so happy that I could feel that energy too. Melt, why are you looking so changed? It's probably the bad lighting. I don't think that's helping. Right, watch me change again. Hmm. Watch me change more. Yes. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, lighting. Make you have face shapers. Make your brain do thingy thingies. It's powerful. How have you been? Sister, I'm good. Good. There we go. Blessings have been shared. Yeah. The words we use. I'm wondering if there is depth for me to create of that as a consideration. If there's like questions for me to ask. Who's the authority? That's the first question that comes up in my mind. Who decides? Who decides which words have more power than others? A part of me wants to say I decide, but there's also an element to words as they are inside of you as well. And you also have a decision on what a word means to you and the way in which you interpret it. My mind is going down rabbit holes of consideration. And the thing that seems to be up for consideration, especially, is I want to use the word choices, all right? Because like it is a word choice thing, all right? That the words we use is a choice in some extent. Some extent, it's a choice. On another extent, it's also indoctrination, getting used to being in the space where you hear words and then you become more like that. That's not lighting's fault. That's money. That's money, power. You have lots of power and money. Yes, it's true. So much wealth. It absolutely oozes from my pores. People bottle my tears and cure the blind with it. I don't know why I went there. I'm sorry. You know, wealth is something that's very curious. You know, I had a whole thing last night about this actually. A conversation had with Joy V long time ago, right? About, in so many words, privilege, right? And there was a conversation had about white privilege. And it's not exactly something that I like thinking about or being accused of, but there was this consideration in me of just circumstance, right? But again, my whiteness isn't a circumstance generator, right? Because there are a bunch of different circumstances on planet Earth. And it's more a matter of where you're born. In that way, I'm lucky to be born in this age, to be born to my parents, right? But aren't these things privileges? I don't know. It's hard to answer. Am I a bad person? Absolutely. Why are you like this? There's a little funny guy on my shoulder that's like, you should say this. You should say this just to like divert expectation. You got me, bro. I don't think I'm a bad person, but I guess nobody does, right? What a good person is to me is someone who's considerate. And that is such a interesting metric because again, it is a matter of I want to almost like call it access. Access and leverage could be another word too, where a truly good person and a considerate person, right, is good towards and considerate towards the people in their lives, right? So I try and be as considerate and good towards you, friends in the space. Hey, Luke, it's nice having you because you choose to be in this space with me. At least I hope. I haven't been mean. If I've been mean, it's because I think I'm funny, but not because I'm trying to be. Yeah. If I'm a bad person, it's because I don't let myself feel things, certain things, right? That's where the answer, like yes, because if I was a really good person, I would be like feeling everything all the time, considering all of the war, considering all of the famine, considering all of the medical debt, considering all of these things at all times, and really feeling bad about it, right? Because that's like maximum consideration. Oh, I'm considering more. Oh, it sucks. But I'm considering it. I'm considering more of it. So at this point in my journey, I've realized that instead of being so stuck on the ultimate consideration of like the pain, right, and seeing it as like a individual pain basis, and I have to individually alleviate in the same way that the consideration on the personal level is accessible, right? Like I can accessibly, help you, for example, as an individual. If you're right here next to me, if I offer you a coffee, right, I spend some of my energy to do something for you so you don't have to, right? Like that's me considering you. If I'm gonna stand up and make a coffee, I might as well ask you if you want one too, right? The words we use, asking you if you want one too. Yeah. And then again, almost like to wrap this up, what's the alternative, right? If I'm a bad person by not considering everything and everyone at all times, what am I considering? Right? And then again, coming back to the whole ultimate ideal of building a city on the ocean, there's a lot of ocean out there. Like a lot. Like a lot of ocean. All right? There's like twice as much ocean as there's land, which means that it's free real estate. Maybe not by that point, but who knows, right? But it is a matter of I'll keep building towards this ideal of creating a space where people can be taken care of. All right, I don't know one if I'm gonna live for thousands of years, and again, it's attached to that, right? Like we figure out gene technology. I don't have to die traditionally. What's gonna be the objective? What am I gonna do with myself, right? Build things that is gonna be good for people, all right? A techno city on the ocean, right? That has ideally my city is gonna be an entertainment city. I'm sorry to say it. It's probably not gonna be an agricultural city, right? Not saying agriculture, no, more like I know I know myself. And I, weirdly enough, this is a this at myself because I love agriculture, right? Planting things and growing stuff is like my bread and butter. Like the first things I was doing as a child when my consciousness switched on was planting, and I think what's that word? The statute of limitations or whatever has like expired. I don't know legal terms. I'm not a criminal, but as like a 5-year old, I stole people's plants. If I saw plants, like I would, like walk down our street. I'm just like thinking about my parents and the level of supervision. I mean, like doors were accessible to me, I guess, and there was also ways around. So coming back, I would steal people's plants, right? If I found like a plant that I was like, yeah, this is nice, especially succulents. Like I had like a soft spot for succulents. I think it's because I managed to actually grow them. I think I learned that lesson quickly. Maybe I wasn't exactly 5. Technically, I was like closer to 7. But yeah, I managed to keep the succulents alive, but I keep killing the other ones. And then we got to Groblersdal, and then I did more of the same. But what I did there is I almost like did like a distributed thing where I would there was these things like these little speckled plants, like green leaf, black speckles on it, and it would create these balls. We call them knolle in Afrikaans. And if you break those knolle apart and you plant them again, new ones appear. And I was like, bet, I can work with this, right? So even then, coming back to the whole fractal of like, I love agriculture, planting things and having your hands in the dirt is good for you. But I also do believe that we human beings like being entertained. That's not gonna go away. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna open chat here. So it's a bit easier for me to read. Ooh, yesterday's flower. Wow. Very blue. That's what yesterday's looked like. Um, Blue. Dabba dee dabba die. Dabba dee dabba die. Dabba dee dabba die. Interesting. Yep. I think I'm missing a bunch. Life's a blessing. There we go. Okay. Something about having a new view on this place and wanted to share it with you. Bless you again. Things have changed. Jobot, you're both go and get a candlelight dinner, eh? That does sound nice. Brother, we cannot carry inherited guilt for situations out of our control. Being born into privilege was not a choice. The choice that matters is how we utilize that set advantages. It's true. It's true. And I'm in 100% agreement with that as well. Right? At least, and I'm saying this at least from a weird perspective, but like I'm not from a family of wealth, right? If my grandparents and their grandparents before them were like, I don't know, oil tycoons. We don't have much oil here in South Africa. Railroad tycoons, I don't know, massive mine owners, gold mine owners or something. Like that would be a whole other fractal. Because then it would be impossible for me to not admit that I have like a lot of privilege because there's like literal millions of US dollars supporting me. Like if I fall, there's millions of US dollars to catch me. Right. In that way, if I fall, there is like this space to catch me. Right. And that is enough. That is a privilege. That is a privilege. Yeah. Like back to that part, right? Like it's not the same kind of privilege, but it's still a privilege. And I'm willing to acknowledge that as well and be grateful for it, even. Very much so. When you are both go, hopefully soon, closer and closer. Jovan is coming back, yeah. This the 26th of September. I want to travel back to South Africa this year. Yeah. Jovan, that's near my birthday. What a cool birthday present for me to see a Jovan and Melty dancing together again. That's so awesome. Libra, Virgo Libra baby. Ah, Jaju. I wish I could bring you with me. That would so be awesome. I would go with you in an instant. Alas, my international options are limited at this current time. I could sail to South Africa though. That does sound like it would be fun, bro. Extra cool. That's so sweet, Joe Pot. Mel dancing as a couple. Yeah, last time, the music wasn't playing properly. And we were for our Wednesday here in front of the family. Right. So there were definitely a bunch of spanners in the works, unfortunately. Having safety isn't much of a privilege. It is in a country where a bunch of people don't, right? I feel like in America, it's it's gotten to the point of like human right ish, right? It's like almost a human right to have housing, right? Even if you're homeless, there are like homeless shelters and stuff. Technically, there's none of that here in South Africa. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but for the most part, it's hard for most people here in South Africa. And I wouldn't have been able to do the stuff I've been doing if not for the support that I've had as well. Right? And I'm mentioning you friends in that a lot. Like again, technically, even if my parents were willing to support me doing this work, if you friends weren't here to support me, I would have had to take that as a lesson. And I would have to have tried something else. Is that Muskan? Hey, Sonny. It's nice having you, friend. Sending you blessings. I'm doing well. How are you feeling? Today's stream topic is about the words we say and the power they take from you and they give to others. And you can say words that take from you and take from others. Or you can say words that take from you the bad stuff, right? Which is almost like you not saying them. Think about this, right? When you think maybe you want to say something harmful or angry, and you say something good instead, you take the bad away by saying something good. And then the other person gets good things said of them. Boom. Boom. World, better place 2.0. It's that easy. What are we all waiting for? Having safety, bless again. I've looked it up. You can, in fact, sail to South Africa. Florida to South Africa. Hey, Google, how far is it to sail from Florida to South Africa? You can do it in 40 days at 125 miles a day. I don't want to do math, bro. Please tell me no. Tell me number. I mean, I guess that is how they measure things on the ocean. It's like days of travel. You can do it in 15 days, but 15 to 40 is like the scope. Very interesting. Is your boat operational? I don't know if sailing to South Africa, like, bro, that sounds like it could be one of those treacherous journeys too. hmm Lol, I remember Mel's brother was sitting on a chair that looked out facing the stream. I was feeling so in my shell on that Wednesday dance stream. I know danced, but next time. I mean, we're gonna have a lot of time to dance at least. We'll make the most of it. It was true. I was even feeling awkward because my brother and his girlfriend was also there. It's like staring out. It's just out of reach, lol. I'm not exactly sure. The housing, maybe. Also true. I think like the housing fractal is more like cost driven at this point. And location, location, location. There's probably more than enough homes to house every single person on planet Earth. There has been probably for a long time. But it is again a matter of multi homes and also location, 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 right? Where is it people want homes? I know that I appreciate having this home on the internet with your friends. It seemed like you were saying there was less of a social net, and your red said that was a lot of social safety net, but you gave facts along the way, which I appreciate. I bless you, bro. Thank you for appreciating me. I appreciate you too. Om Naskar. Om Ham Naskaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bless you with peace, bro. Now is the time for me to show you the flower once again. And then I'll read you the poem that went with it. Yeah, you mentioned housing. You mentioned millions of money. If you fall, if you fail. I'm not exactly sure. The millions and monies. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Like it would be different. Like the kind of privilege, right, I have access to. Unfortunately, there are no millions. Alas. There was a part of me that died inside, just like considering that, like, yeah, womp womp. And it is this matter of, like there are very few people on planet Earth that have millions of dollars. And I feel, again, it's almost impossible for you to fathom as a normal person. And I do consider myself pretty normal as a person. Right? I think I'm in touch with reality. I've lived in a shoebox apartment in Shanghai for months, right? And then for months in Yangzhou in a bigger apartment because it was less desirable of a location. And then for months in Huayan, which was also a different whole setup, right? Like, so I got to see the perspectives of like massive city living, the standards you can expect for the money you could ask, right? And I get that that's the sitch, right? Like, I had that perspective. And I feel like, again, if you have millions of US dollars, you never have that perspective. It's like something that you'll never access it. Like, it'll never come across your path. So in that way, I feel, maybe like there's a part of us that, because we've gone through things, somebody calling us privileged, and we having some sort of idea of what true privilege would look like, right? Get offended because we've been through hardships ourselves as well. So pretty. I really loved yesterday's color palette. Usually I have like clashing colors for a reason, right? Like there's some clashing happening here. But this was very blue. The only reason there's any contrast in it at all is because my leather pouch, the one that contains my Dynavap and such, was on me, right? This is leather, those pieces. Zzz. Kristen is here too. Hey, Kristen. It's nice having you, friend. Sending you big lovin's. There's glue on the back of my tablet. Yes, I hate it. The little silicone thingies, there were ones up here as well, but they've come off and they've left their glue, as you can see. It's like snot. It's like actual. I'm sorry. Sorry. But like that's what it's like. So you have to know. Kiefer, happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday to you too, bro. It's nice having you. Stitch plus feeling equals the end of perspective. That is the truth. You just spoke. I hope you know it. Bless. I think perspective is one of the most valuable things you're going to have on life. Right? And some people get a privilege to not have that perspective. You know what I mean? I love you too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Zoom, 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 zoom. Happy Sunday again. Okay, I've shown you the flower, and now for the poem on the Patreons. Yeah, it's so bright. Supposed to be. Literally, I'm having some connectivity issues. I'll wait for it to stable out. It says it's stabled out. I like that you go from vertical to horizontal. It lets me know how deep you are in today's talk. Yeah, by the time the horizontal one starts up, we've already like almost flushed out what it is we're talking about, right? Some power weirdness. Okay, it says it's stable. The poem is titled The Plan is to Keep Living. The plan is to keep living. In the soul hush before sunrise, I etch a vow on paper, a quiet revolution in ink and breath. No bombast, just the raw pulse of truth, the steady rhythm of a heart determined to wander, to stumble, to rise. This plan, a fragile map drawn on the edges of dusk and dawn, carries the weight of every past confession, every whispered hope and secret fear. It's a commitment not to perfection, but to the honest, messy unfolding of ever fragile, brilliant days. Here, in the stillness, between thought and action, I meet our eyes, a reflection of love, raw and unfiltered. The plan is a quiet promise that even when the horizon falters, I will keep moving, keep daring, for every step is a verse in this living poem. And so I pledge to honor the imperfect beauty of the journey, to trust in the unseen paths ahead, and to find in each breath a new beginning, a tender reminder that true commitment is the art of falling and rising again. The plan is to keep living in love. I did kind of bonk the third paragraph a little bit, I think. For yeah, messy unfolding of each fragile, brilliant day. But I feel like the second stanza is like where it's at. Here in the stillness between thought and action, I meet our eyes. A reflection of love, raw and unfiltered, the plan is a quiet promise that even when the horizon falters, I will keep moving, keep daring, for every step is a verse in this living poem. And so I pledge to honor the imperfect beauty of the journey, to trust in the unseen paths ahead, and to find in each breath a new beginning, a tender reminder that true commitment is the art of falling and rising again and again and again. Right? You can't beat us down. It's nothing. Nothing you can do to make me stop. Nothing. You cannot pay me money. You cannot coerce me. You cannot convince me. You cannot demoralize me. You cannot change me. You can only help me. Day is not fragile. Yeah. Each fragile, brilliant day. The day isn't fragile, technically. But again, it goes, it's a commitment not to perfection, but to the honest, messy unfolding of each fragile, brilliant day. And in that way, it is this matter of maybe your day is all broken. Maybe you had this plan. Oh, I'm going to do this, and then that. And I'm going to leave at this time to be there at this point, right? And then suddenly, something happens and your whole day is messed up, right? And in that way, it's fragile. And if your commitment was to perfection, right, my day has to be absolutely unequivocally like this exactly, and that was your commitment, then you would find yourself suffering. Chaos, right, to all of it. I hated school environment. It was bad for my tisms and me. True, for me too. I hope that this doesn't give you school vibes. It's not supposed to. It's more guidance, right? From someone who needs guidance himself. For someone who wants to give guidance to himself. If I could give guidance to me, what would it be in this conversation of what words am I supposed to say? I love you. I love you too. It's nice. My goodness, hearing you read the poems aloud brings so much more life to an already lovely artistic expression. I look forward to Patreon allowing me to add an audio file to the actual poetry. And then as soon as they do, I will add that to the poems too. Thank you, Kristen. Grandma, even if you mess up the day, no. No, it's not. Kicks and screams. Don't fight me. Don't fight me, Hoopy. The day can be fragile. I have like a fragile day. Right? It's not gonna break in the traditional sense. Hey Google, define fragile. Easily broken or damaged. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Hoopy. It's pretty hard to damage or break a day. You know, but if it was possible, we would do it with words. Yeah. Full circle. Boom. That's how it's done. I appreciate you, friends. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the horizontal stream.